Hey everyone, this is Andrew with Eclipse Growing, and today we have a Buzzy surprise. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be reviewing a growing kit and by Buzzy brand. Now this particular kit is actually a sunflower, one of my favorite flowers, as they can be edible, at least the seeds can be. And this particular one I'm just growing just for fun. Now let's go ahead and open this up. On the back here, we actually see that there are instructions. Basically, it says that it's going to come with a pellet. It wants you to soak it in 5 tablespoons of water, fluff it with a fork, and we're going to go ahead and sow the sunflower seeds about 1/2 inch deep. They want you to place it in a warm, bright location and keep the growing medium moist but not overwatered. They do want you to cover it with plastic wrap to keep the moisture inside, and roughly once it starts to germinate, about 7 to 14 days, you can go to remove that plastic wrap and grow it as you see fit. Once they develop their second set of leaves, or their primary leaves rather, you can go ahead and transplant them. So let's go ahead and open this up. So let's pop this open. Now I've grown another kit from this, a couple kits you guys have seen. I've done the strawberries, and at the moment I've done the forget-me-nots. They come in very, very, very small clay containers. This one, as you can see, is actually a little bit bigger. Now there's a couple differences. Your seeds, your normal pack of seeds, they're not as folded up as the other packs. Your growing medium, a little bit bigger, okay? Now also, in the other clay pots, they're actually a little bit smaller and they don't have a drainage hole. This one does. So let's go ahead. I have prepared already 5 tablespoons of water, so let's go ahead and get this medium in here. And as you can see, I went ahead and did that. Should soak up all of the water, should only take a few minutes. While we wait on that, we're going to go ahead and open up the seeds and see what we have. Now, it doesn't necessarily say what variety of sunflower this is, and I'm going to assume, since it does a lot of edible things, this might be... Oh, matter of fact, it actually says Sunflower Dwarf Sunny. So that's the variety we're growing on this one, is Dwarf Sunny. Probably should have looked at that before. Alright, so let's take a look at these seeds. And I'm sure these are tiny, tiny little seeds compared to what you're probably used to seeing at the store. And let me go ahead and pull them out. And I actually have enough, I could probably grow a few more. So these seeds, you probably still roast them, but are relatively tiny. Relatively tiny. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Now our medium over this entire time has actually finished. Here's what our medium looks like. It is a bucket of dirt. So we will go ahead and hopefully slowly, carefully move this soil into the pot. Alright, and I'm not going to be super careful because it wants you to fluff it with a fork anyways. So we're going to go ahead and get all of this in here. And it seems to be a perfect amount. I'll scrape all of this in here. Alright, go ahead and fluff that just a little bit. Now, as you can see, that is a full container of dirt. So, perfect amount. Now with this one, generally you want to put a few more than one seedling, you know, a few seeds. Specifically because you throw one in and you're like, hey, I'm going to try my chances. It doesn't germinate, you pretty much have a failed deal, and you have to wait another 7 to 14 days to germinate more seeds. So since these do have to go about 1/2 inch, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 5 of these, a nice little cross pattern. See what happens. And with most seeds, most plants, you don't really have to worry about the size of the seed. It's not going to change the size of the plant. Now, this is not true with all seeds. Things like garlic, which is, I guess, technically not a true seed when you propagate them using cloves. But depending on the size of the clove will depend largely will affect the size of the clove that you pull out during harvest times. With these, it doesn't matter about the size of the seed, just the seed happens to be a little on the smaller side. So there we go. Went ahead and threw these seeds in, and now I'm just gonna push them in, just a little bit, because it just has to go about ½ inch in, not a full inch. And I'm pointing them up specifically so that I don't get them too deep. And then, and not only that, it's kind of fun throwing these seeds into it. They're just the shape of them I really like, because you take them like this, and in this particular instance, they actually slip into the soil very, very easy. So you can stand them up, have a little fun with them. And it's something that I like to do, especially if you have small children who may or may not know the instructions that you give them. You can at least place the seeds down. And in that particular case, place them. They just have to cover up the seeds, or even have fun themselves and go ahead and poke these through. So now that I have this completely covered up, everything's good and ready to go. 7-14 days, and we'll update you with how well they grow. As far as these extra seeds, I may actually have a little bit more soil mediums lying around the house, and I may actually throw them in and see what the difference would be. Now, right now, just gonna go with this, and if you want to see the next, please subscribe down below.